In this lesson I'm going to show you how to make this marquise shaped diamond solitaire. This is 1.8mm square. I'd suggest anything between 1.5 and 2mm square to make this setting. There will be a lot of filing to do later to taper it up to the top of the claws, but we need a thick base to the setting because there's no inner bezel to hold the claws together. So that's why we're doing it so thick. And the measurement of this stone is a 2-carat marquise diamond, and it is 13mm long, 6.5mm wide. Now what we need to do is mitre this wire and bend it. So to find the first mitre joint, what I suggest is around about 4mm from the tip of the stone. Just have that much metal left over there, 4 or 5mm, doesn't matter if it's any more. And then what we're going to do is just mark where the colour of the stone goes to, and we'll mark that, and we'll put a cut in at that point. And just so we know where to cut off later, I will mark from that cut to the end of the wire, and later on that's where we're going to cut it. And I need to carry on cutting where the bend will be until it's around about 0.5mm away from the other side. So, and then you can just give it a little bend like that, cut again to the same point. Now I suggest not to lubricate your blade because we're going to solder that once we've got it to the right angle, and if you lubricate it you're going to leave some wax inside the joint, and that will stop the solder from running properly. Now what we're going to do is match the angle of the pavilion long ways like that, so you have to keep cutting and bending till you get that. Put that to one side because we'll solder that in a minute. And this time and then you can use a quicker and you'll have a 90-degree shape. So we take it again to almost through, so when you've done that you can bend it, but that's not enough, we need to keep cutting. 45 to 50 degrees, we'll test it against the stone, see how close the top claws will be. So a little bit of judgment to be made at this stage. If I leave it at that, the claws are going to be too far apart in the middle of the stone here and too close to the end claws, so we're going to just go a little bit further. Off and make another one exactly the same. Start filing. Like I say, I need to keep filing at a very shallow angle, like so. You can see it's a shallow angle, it's probably only about 20 degrees if that, and I need to file until it gets really close to this edge here. And just to make sure I get a good solid joint, I'll just file the sides of the long piece so they're dead flat. So I'll set the components up for soldering in this product here. It's called Hold It. There are a few different named products that do the same thing. So it's a soft, like a clay type of material. I'll just show you. And you can bed your work into it, set it up into this, and it's fire resistant. So that's what I'm going to use. Okay, I think that looks as though it's made good contact. I'll flux that and now place the stone inside the setting and try and get it as straight as you can. Hold it there and looks pretty straight, and then I'm just going to mark the contact points where the stone contacts the inside of the setting, and then move those marks down along the claw around 1 millimeter. So just as best you can at a slight angle. It won't make any difference. And again, just bend it so that the claws start to angle upwards and inwards. Get rid of some of this thickness now. I'll just take off the bottom sides until it reaches the centre part, the long part. Stones in later, but the sides, they can be made a lot more elegant. Run a file over the top to get them all the same length. And remove some of the metal from around the outside. Again, tapering it slightly so that it's thinner on top. Okay, size-wise that's about there now. Of course it's going to look a lot nicer once I've fine-tuned it a little bit more, but that's the general shape of the setting done. For the shank I'm using 2.3mm round wire, so it'll just be a curtain ring type of a shank, and that's very popular nowadays. But what I'm going to do is just put a flat profile on the inside. So that means that I need to make this at least one size smaller, because as I file the inside it's going to size itself up a little bit, so I'll probably aim for around about 1.5 sizes smaller and then file it until it gets to the right finger size. So I'll just form it with my pliers, overlap it and tap it up if need be. I'll aim for a finger size of J, so let me just take it up a little bit. Okay, I'll cut that and solder it. And overlap again, get it nice and tight, line it up and I'll hard solder that. Tidy up, and then I'm going to put a pin on the bottom there and pin it to the shank. Now this is a fine grit Moore's disc, and this just makes light work of doing something like this. I'm going to put a groove in the bottom of the setting so it matches the profile of the ring, and that will give me a really strong joint. So I'll use this ball burr that is the same size as the thickness of the shank. So I've just got a very small ball burr that I'll make a divot with in the ring, getting it right in the centre and into the groove. And I'll use this drill that is just a fraction smaller than the wire that I'm going to poke through there. I need to make sure that I'm drilling dead straight, so I'll stop halfway through, make sure it's straight that way and straight that way, and then really nice joint. So I'll put this wire in and solder it. So I'll pick the solder up. I've got a good amount of solder. I'm not being too skinny with it. I'm going to add more than what I'm just putting on it now because it is quite a large joint still, but I'll feed it from the wire on the inside of the shank and allow it to run through. I'll now get rid of the wire from the inside of the setting. I'll use this abrasive flame-shaped polisher to clean the inside of the setting. And because it's such an open setting, it really has to be cleaned up nicely inside. And the pencil brush will leave a nice polish on the inside. Once I've done this, I'm going to put it in the tumbler for a... So now I'm ready to set the stone, and as you can see it's almost fitting in on the side claws there. So I'm going to use a setting burr just to trim away on the inside of those, but the end ones there is contact with the point of the stone, as you can see. So what I need to do is put a little pocket on the inside of the claws, and that will I'll be able to put the stone points into those pockets, and they'll be protected when I hammer the claws down or push the claws down. And I'll do the other side. You can see I'm going quite deep into the claw. I've got half the ball inside, and I'll trim the side of the claws with this setting burr using the straight part against the top part of the claws. I'll just try the stone. I don't think it'll go all the way in because this claw here needs pulling out. Just want to see if I need to burr a bit further into the claw with the ball burr. It looks as though I do. Side claws look okay. They're touching on this side here, so I might just go a little bit further on these two claws here. And a little bit further in with the ball burr. And if I pull one of them back, we can see if the stone will go in. Also, hopefully this will now sit in there nice and straight. Okay, that is the case. So what I'll do first is just close this end claw that I pulled out before. Just use this side of my pliers, claw setting pliers. So if you've not seen these before, these are it's a pair of pliers that I've specially made. A little groove in there, nylon on this side, and I use this for pushing claws into place. And the claws are still very thick, so I can start trimming them whilst the stone's locked in, to make it easier to fold the claws onto the stone. Still very high as well, so I'll drop the height of the claws, and I'm going to do a really nice eagle claw shape, which I think will suit this stone. And I'll use a barrette needle file to shape the sides of the claws. I'm going to finish off with my Dremel electric engraver, and I used the steel tips that I actually sell online. I've had these specially made, perfect for jobs like this. So I'll make sure there is a lesson in the curriculum showing you how to shape this tip. I find this one is really good for moving metal, and I've got the dial set at 3.5. I'll use this pumice wheel to do the sides of the claws. And there we have it, set, polished and finished.